Okay. Awesome. I'm glad I found out about the 22nd. It's probably already on my calendar, but it's in my head now. So I'll definitely make sure I find some time to attend. Yeah, so
Yes.
everybody, I'm Patrick Dehaney. I'm no longer the new city manager. I'm the not so new city manager, and sorry that it's taken me this long to kind of get an opportunity to be here with you all. And I think that's probably one of the things we can all put up to all things 2020 and COVID-19, but
Yeah.
grateful and hopeful that it looks like there's a path forward in terms of there's an end there, right? And every week it looks like more and more things are reopening. So definitely can't wait for the opportunity to kind of fellowship in person, and really meet the backbone of our community. And really, I've heard a lot about the great work that you've done through Lavera and Rebecca and Taylor Adams and the members of council to help kind of usher us through pre-disparity
Absolutely.
study to disparity study to doing the processes we need to kind of fix some of those disparities, and I think the thing that you're gonna get from me as it relates to the work that you all champion is that I'm an ardent believer in increasing our ability to give minorities, women, and our small businesses opportunities to not just procure and get contracts and get paid by the city, but also to grow and help build Virginia Beach, because I think our
Absolutely.
success is not just what you do with the city of Cincinnati, but
Absolutely.
how you get contracts with Centera, how you grow and build with the Navy and our other regional stakeholders as well, to move the needle that way. But definitely this isn't anything new to me. Really I got the lucky opportunity to kind of lead the city of Cincinnati's disparity efforts. I was a chief procurement officer during the time when Cincinnati went through its disparity study and then also implemented its first MBE WBE program, and doing all the culture change necessary to help move the needle so that we can start to see some successes, and then advocating to figure out opportunities to get those minority and our small businesses and women-owned businesses set up and opportunities outside of the city as well to start working with developers, to start working with other entities. So just an ardent believer in promoting small businesses and minority businesses, not just because of the altruistic reason, but because of the selfish benefit that when you increase the amount of people in the field, amount of businesses in the field, it increases competition. And
Absolutely.
as a procurement person, there's nothing better than having hundreds of bidders bid on your thing because that really drives down the city's bottom line in terms of costs. So growing our small businesses and helping them to compete and do business with us, helps us drive our lowest cost so we can spend the taxpayers' dollars farther to take care of the needs that they have. But really I best operate when I'm responding to questions. So those are my words at the moment. So if anybody has any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer almost anything.
Right. Well, I can say, Patrick, now that we're on a first name basis, that we are truly excited to have you in the city of Virginia Beach. We know what 2020 meant, and of course, we had created some opportunities where we would engage prior to this time, but it just didn't happen. I will say that the information that you have shared, thank you so much. For that, not only for your work, your focus, but for the impact that you have made in communities that oftentimes are overlooked. And I think it's probably more critical at this particular point because of COVID. What COVID has done was to just sort of lift the Band-Aid on something that we already knew that existed, right? And so I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad for the information and the work that you and your team will continue to do. It sort of falls right into play with our theme for our 22nd virtual conference and expo, which is Recover, Reimagine, Innovate, and Thrive. And so we'll have a series of speakers there that will be talking about how they were able not only to survive COVID-19, but to thrive as well, and because of the opportunities that were presented. So thank you once again for all that you're doing. Thank you for taking the time to jump on and for us to hear it from you. We really appreciate you, and absolutely, we will continue to lean on you as well. With that being said, are there any questions, members, that you all may have for Patrick?
I have a question. Patch, it's great to see you, man. Thanks for coming out to the meeting. Everybody, of course, is the big question is something in the water, which was a huge success here prior to you coming on board. And I know we've already saw the news piece about it being canceled again this year. Do you think it may be an opportunity for 2022?
We're hoping so. I think we were hoping out for the last moment that there could be some part of it that can continue for this year as well. But I think they just got so late into the planning time that they needed to do it that it is going to pull it off. But we're hoping so. I mean, I think our resort community needs it. Our small businesses needed it.
Absolutely.
People, our community needs it. It's another opportunity for us to kind of fellowship and kick COVID-19 behind us. To me, I kind of look at this as, when people think about what happened in the Spanish flu, it happened 1918 and 1919, and then right after that was the Roaring 20s, right? And it was
Right.
Roaring 20s, Harlem, and all that good stuff. So to me, it's like I'm hoping that after this, something in the water can kick off some kind of roaring initiative like that for us.
Right.
So
That'd be cool.
we're gonna do everything that we can to help facilitate them to make a decision that they can come back next year and make sure that it's especially because it looks like all the metrics are showing that we should be able to be pretty safe by the end of the year to really
Right.
accommodate something like that as well. But really disappointed that they couldn't make it work this year. But we will be doing everything we can to be good partners to help them bring it back next year.
Yeah. So this is hello. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay. Great. Good. This Councilman Rouse here. Thank you, Pat, City Manager, for joining us today. I am just wanted a couple comments, and I'm going to touch on something in the water in a second. I just want to let the council, this committee know just how front forward City Manager Duhaney has been. His approach has been one that has been refreshing and with an open mind for innovation, but also with that soft touch that I think we've been missing to really get things done, but also the welcoming of ideas going forward. It's been a pleasure thus far of just having to work with the city manager as well to push forth the ideas of small women and minority and disabled veteran-owned businesses. And I think it shows a large part that his background in economic development as well as procurement it has been. I can't understate or overestimate how beneficial his knowledge has been in that area. That will help us out and help our small businesses and minority businesses in our city going forward. When you have someone who knows the ins and outs of small business participation in our city. With something in the water, the key thing about that is to make sure we will be in a position to be able to welcome back the festival, but be in a position where going forward we can have more small women and minority participation in the festival. And I know that's something that the first year it was, we had some, but not as much as we'd like to, just from the amount of time we had to be able to put that together. But hopefully in 22, the key point will be having more minority and small business participation coming forth within that festival. And so while I am hopeful that we'll be able to entertain that, another major part of that is making sure that not only the business community, but our city as well as council understand just how important that festival was. And, obviously not more than from a culture perspective, I think that was the bigger issue, but since we are on the Minority Business Council, from an economic perspective, I think we've seen last year or 2 years ago now, as time's flown, we've seen the $24.7 million economic impact it had for our city and a $27 million economic impact it had for our region. Well, minority businesses, the small businesses need to have a stake in that and a position in that, and to be able to also take advantage of the resources that the festival brings forth. So I am hoping, I'm looking forward to making sure and helping the festival come back. But I want to make sure we are in a position to take full benefit of what the customer has on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman Rouse. We certainly appreciate everything that you do to keep the Minority Business Council front and center, and minority, women-owned, and small businesses in focus as well. So thank you so much for all the work that you continue to do and the impact that you continue to make, not only in Hampton Roads or Virginia Beach, but in other places as well. So thank you so much. We could not ask for a better liaison than you. All righty. With that being said, let's see, we'll move into the industry hour.
Madam Chair.
Vera, are you speaking? Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, I would like to do the roll call, and I would also like to recognize Ms. Letitia Shelton. She's on the line. She is the Finance Director for the City of Virginia Beach. And Ms. Shelton, would you like to say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited.
Good evening, Ms. Shelton.
Good evening.
Did my picture come up?
Let's see.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. Ms. Shelton, you're in a very relaxed place on today.
Yes, I am. It's Friday.
Yes.
It is almost 5 o'clock.
Joining us. Yes.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
So Letitia, before you go, let me introduce you a little bit. So Letitia has been with us now, probably her second week, Letitia. So,
Second week.
Yeah, so Letitia, previously, prior to working for the City of Virginia Beach, she was most recently at the City of Charlottesville. She was a deputy city manager there. And then prior to that, she was in DeSoto, Texas, as a deputy city manager there, or assistant city manager. What do they call it there? Deputy city manager?
Deputy, yes.
Okay. And then prior to that, I think she was at Richmond, right?
City of Richmond.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was at the City of Richmond. So this is a second coming home to her. So I was we went out twice trying to find a finance director. The first time it didn't work. The second time Letitia showed up. So happy to have the perfect time and the blessing of Letitia working here with us. But she's a breath of fresh air, and look forward to having her mindset to be a part of our team and to help us move forward and continue the strong financial legacy that Virginia Beach has as well. And she's also somebody with a solid, not as great as some of us, procurement background, but she's getting there. So
I'm getting there.
Small and minority-owned business get access to opportunities with the city as well. But she's definitely a pleasure. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to introduce her every time I get a chance to.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Letitia, welcome. 2 weeks in,
Welcome.
and we are so excited to have you here. And hopefully we'll get an opportunity to see your face again at our upcoming virtual conference and expo that is scheduled for April 22nd as well.
Yes.
So welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out to join us on today. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lavera, you're welcome. Lavera, did you want to go ahead and do roll call at this time?
Yes, ma'am. If when I call your name, please say present. Kelvin Arthur. You might be on mute, Kelvin. Kelvin Arthur. Arshad Barat. Arshad Barat. Francina Harrison. Francina Harrison. Ed Hopper.
Present.
Ron Lewis.
Present.
Clarence Neely.
Present.
Francis Thompson.
Present.
Olga Torres.
Present.
Damon Watson. Chiquita Clark.
I'm here. I'm going to mute myself because I'm in a pretty loud area.
Sheila Johnson.
Present.
And Kelvin Arthur.
And now I'm audibly present.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You do have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Lavera. We'll move to, I'm going to ask for a motion in regards to the approval of the minutes. Did everyone get an opportunity to review the minutes from the last meeting?
Mhm.
Great. Can I get a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting in February as presented.
Second the
Thank you.
motion.
Thank you so much. Lavera, is there any discussion? Thank you. Lavera, can you move to take a vote in regards to the approval of the minutes, please?
Yes, ma'am. Kelvin Arthur,
Accept.
Harshad Barat, Francina Harrison, Ed Hopper,
Yes, accept.
Ron Lewis,
I accept.
Clarence Neely,
Accept.
Francis Thompson,
Approve.
Olga Torres,
Yay, approved.
Jakita Clark, Sheila Johnson,
Approved.
Jakita Clark.
I think Jaquita had noted that she was in a loud area. She may be
Okay.
having some difficulty.
All right, Madam Chair, by vote of 9-2, your minutes have been approved.
Thank you so much, Lavera. The minutes, as Lavera stated, have been approved and approved. So we're going to move into our industry hour. We have Miss Rose. Rose, can you once again share your last name, please?
Sure. Yes, it's actually Rose Hollandes. I think there was an X on the agenda. It's
Yes,
Z. Yeah.
Rose Hollandes. Yes, she is with the U.S. Department of Labor Women's Bureau. And so, Rose, if you can take it away, just share a bit of information, your background, and we're excited to have you here on today. And happy Women's History Month to you as well.
Great. Thank you so much. Just want to make sure. Let's see. Can you see my slideshow?
Yes, I can. Can you all see?
Yes. Yeah. I think all good. All right. Well, thank you so much. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. It's just a beautiful sunny day. I'm actually in the Philadelphia area, and I'm a little jealous. I wish I was in the Virginia Beach area. I looked up the weather. It's 68 degrees here, and I think it's 80 degrees over there. And we're close to the weekend. So thank you so much to Lavera for reaching out to me, contacting our office, and to the Minority Business Council of Virginia Beach and its members for inviting me today and offering me this opportunity to speak with you all. So, before I begin, I just quickly want to say, I hope to not make this too much of a formal presentation. I just want to let you know I'm also working from home and I have 2 little kids. I think somebody mentioned that they're virtual. I have one child that's actually a virtual student, and I think he just finished class. So just a disclaimer, I might get an interruption at some point. And also, I just really want this to be hopefully like one of many conversations with you all, just an opportunity to engage. Now you know me on a first name basis. I know you all on a first name basis. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity to connect and engage with you all. So I'm just going to talk a bit about the Women's Bureau, what we do, how we can possibly help, and as well as possibly collaborate down the road. This first slide, obviously my name, my email address, and my phone number. It goes directly to my cell phone, so feel free to reach out anytime. So with that said, I just want to talk about the mission of the Women's Bureau. Well, first, we were established on June 5th, 1920. Last year was our 100th anniversary. We are the only federal agency tasked with focusing exclusively on working women. And our mission is to safeguard the interests of working women, advocate for their equality and economic security, and promote quality work environments. And just briefly, again, I'm in the Philadelphia regional office. There are 10 regional offices across the country, and my office covers Delaware, DC, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia. And this slide, our approach, or basically what we do. So first, we do research and policy making. We have a history of working on the core policies affecting working women and their economic security, from childcare and equal pay to paid family leave and other topics related to women's earnings and access to employment and training. In the past, we've created infographics, research briefs, reports, and other resources on these issues. Also, we have a quantitative team that looks at a lot of the labor force and economic data and provides a gender lens to the data. So for example, if you look at our website, you'll find information on women in the labor force, mothers and families, women's employment and earnings, just to name a few. And these are all on our website. The website address is over there in the top corner, dol.gov/WB. And on that note, I also want to encourage you to follow our Twitter account at WB_@DOL. Right now, our agency has been publishing more recent data and information through our Twitter account before it hits our website. So I really encourage you to follow that page about news, updates, and activities of the Women's Bureau. And also, feel free to send me your email, or send it to Lavira to send it to me, and I could add you to our email list so that you could get our updates. Second, we do outreach and education. We do outreach to nonprofit, private, and governmental sectors to help inform and educate others about our work, our mission, our resources, and activities. In the past, I've had the opportunity to collaborate with other federal agencies, such as the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and other DOL agencies, to inform individuals of their rights in the workplace. We also have a history of convening stakeholders to participate in roundtable discussions or listening sessions. And for us, when we do these discussions or listening sessions, our goal is to gain input and learn more about what our agency can do to positively impact the lives of women workers. Again, from creating resources, doing other additional research, know your rights outreach, or sometimes things that might inform our grant work, which takes us to our third approach, which is grants. Right now, the Women's Bureau's major grant program is the Women in Apprenticeships and Non-Traditional Occupations, or WANTO. It's also known as the WANTO Grant Program. And that takes us to our next slide. So through the WANTO Grant Program, the Women's Bureau has been able to fund community-based organizations committed to increasing women's employment in apprenticeship programs and non-traditional occupations. Since 2017, the Women's Bureau has awarded nearly $8.5 million to 17 community-based organizations through the WANTO Grant Program. Why apprenticeships and non-traditional occupations? Well, because apprenticeships and non-traditional occupations are a pathway to family-sustaining wages. As some of you may already know, apprenticeships offer an earn-as-you-learn model with on-the-job training and mentors, while reducing the need to take on student loans. More importantly, the average starting wage for someone who completes an apprenticeship is $70,000 per year, and women earn significantly higher lifetime earnings than similar individuals who do not participate in apprenticeships. So getting women into these pathways has been and continues to be a priority for our agency. And this other slide is just listing, you know, some of our federal partners. We work a lot, you know, well, I should back up and say that, you know, we are a small agency with a huge task. And I personally believe that my role is, you know, to connect people, organizations to the appropriate federal agency or resource, you know, if they need assistance outside of the work of the Women's Bureau. But we also work, as I mentioned earlier, with some of these agencies, well, actually with all of these agencies on various programs. You know, this is just some of the lists: Wage and Hour Division, Veterans Employment and Training Service, Employment and Training Administration, Office of Federal Contract and Compliance Programs. And then externally, we've collaborated with some of these other agencies, SBA, HHS, EEOC, and we work also with, as I mentioned, community-based organizations. And overall, you know, I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to provide everybody with an overview of what we do and how we do it and some of our major work right now. And again, this is my contact info. So with that said, I guess I could turn this off. Let me see. Stop sharing.
Rose, thank you so much
No
for the
problem.
information that you shared on today. I did not know that all of that work was associated with that particular bureau. So thank you so much for taking the time to share that with us.
No problem.
Members, do you all have any questions for Rose at this time? No questions? Well, Rose, we have your contact information, so you will look to see quite a few followers following this call, and we'll certainly be in touch.
I've already followed.
Oh, great.
I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute fast enough.
I'm sorry, Calvin, did someone have a
question? I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute.
Go ahead, Calvin.
Rose, did I understand you to say you're the only kind of federal agency that's really focused on women's business and women's issues?
Well, working women's issues, so women in the workplace. Yes, we are the only federal agency focused on women in the workplace. I think in terms of women's businesses, I think that there should be an agency in the Small Business Administration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is women in the workplace, employment issues, practices, and so forth.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
That was a great question, Calvin.
It's a big task.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great question.
But we work, you know, with, I mean, nonprofit, federal employer, and private sector employers. We've engaged with small businesses. So, I mean, it's really good to just be here and to just meet with you all, because I feel it's just always good to just kind of put a face to the name. You see my face, and if ever there's a question, you know, just feel free to connect. And I hope that we could just continue to engage in the future.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is
Any
Olga.
other questions?
Yes,
Olga?
I just wanted to make a statement. This is Olga. I was glad to see the information about the apprenticeship program.
Yeah.
And it would just be great to see that there might be some connections made locally, for example, through our shipyard. In those types of organizations, if you know, was wondering if anything is already being done or taking place in that arena for us here with women's apprenticeship.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. And there actually is, one of our grantees is actually in Hampton Roads, and I could definitely forward information about that. I believe it is the I don't know why I'm forgetting right now. But yeah, they are working in relation to the shipyards in Hampton Roads.
Okay.
It's the Hampton Roads Workforce Council.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And I'll definitely send that information over to Lavera.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, once again, Lois, thank you so much, and we will be in touch.
Yes, thank you so much. Hi, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day, and we're so
You
glad
too.
we got you off the line before your child came into the room.
I know, it's a little scared. Thank you. Take
Have a
care.
great one.
You
You're welcome
too.
to stay if you like.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I might just stop my video and pop in and out.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. With that being said, we're going to move to committee reports. Damon, can you start with outreach, please?
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Damon, we can't hear you that well.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? Hopefully you can hear me now.
We can hear you. Just, I
Okay,
guess, speak a little louder.
All right. Nope. I will yell at the top of my lungs if I have to. I'm excited anyway. I'm definitely, I want to say thank you to the outreach team. I want to thank you to Ms. Sheila, Ms. Lavera, Nikita, Jaquita, everybody. I'm actually very excited about our upcoming expo. It started off as a little bit stressful and shaky because it is a whole new format for us to follow, but after the meetings that we've been conducting and the surprises that we have lined up and just the entire format, I am definitely looking forward to this expo getting cracking and getting going. We will be submitting the registration forms, and I believe a lot of people have getting emails about save the dates and things of that nature. So just for people to remember, the date is April 22nd. It's going to be virtual. We have a lot of great things in store. We have a lot of great key speakers, and we have a great guest speaker hosting. So that's all I have to say. Like I said, I'm definitely very excited about the situation. I can't wait for everything to get in. And we will be reaching out probably within the next week or so with the finalizations of everything. So just be ready and looking forward to getting everything rolling.
Thank you so much, Damon. If I can just piggyback off of Damon, our keynote on this year is Kim Roundtree. She is a serial entrepreneur. She is extremely impactful and has been on a number of different platforms. We also have a panel discussion entitled From Surviving to Thriving that will include 3 millennial businesses that have been able to not only survive, but to thrive amid COVID-19 mandates and restrictions. And so we're truly excited about that, in addition to the number of workshops and the types of workshops that will be attached to this as well. So thank you so much, Damon, for all the work that you and your team are doing from the outreach committee, and we are truly excited about it.
Thank you as well. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We're moving to the Minority Awareness Committee report. Francis, are you ready?
I am ready. I had to unmute.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm ready now. Yes, I am. Good afternoon to everyone, and I'm just glad to be here with you, healthy, vaccinated, and
yes,
all is well. So just appreciate this opportunity to serve the Minority Business Council. Well, let's go over our social media presence, and Chiquita and Hannah, our junior associate, kind of manage and maintain our social media. And Facebook just took off with something that Chiquita did. I don't know what she works some magic, but our presence has increased about 158 followers and 152 who follow, and then 158 people who like. Now, I'm not certain about how that's different, but I do know that we're talking about people who are exposed to whatever we post on there at some level. So we get a lot of exposure from our likes and followers. We're increasing on Twitter by 1 or 2, Instagram by 1 or 2. So we're just very pleased with how things are going in social media. We want to continue to increase our presence there as well. So one of the goals for our committee has been, like I said, to increase what we do on the social media platforms. And Jaquita had some ideas about posting a video diary from time to time. And I know that as we get closer to our expo, you will be seeing different kinds of things on our social media sites. So just kind of look out for that. And I just encourage you, if you're on social media, to whenever you see something by the Minority Business Council, to just like and share it with your network. Also, whenever you can tag the Minority Business Council on something that you're doing, that's always a good thing as well. As I said, we are going to collaborate. We will do everything that we know to do to help to get the word out about the virtual expo event that's coming on the 22nd. As Damon says, we are excited because it is something very, very different. But I believe it's going to be an amazing event for us all. We still want to continue to promote cultural awareness and appreciation within the business community. And we've got some great ideas that we want to present to the executive committee of things that we would like to do, not only for this expo, but perhaps for as an ongoing event. I'm going to keep that under my hat until we get that approved by the executive committee, but I think it's going to be something that's going to be very meaningful. And I think that's the thing that we wanted to get to, not just announcing that this is Women's History Month, but actually doing something meaningful to accomplish the goals, so that people appreciate and are aware of all the things that we offer in the Virginia Beach business community. So as you see, we still have specific goals that we try to adhere to. And as always, every single time I get a chance, I will lift up Lavera, Keith, and Nikita. They are amazing staff. They're always there to answer any questions or whatever we need. Keith is always thinking about our newsletter, and so I just can't thank them enough for their support. I want to say, I know it's probably maybe said later, Sheila, but I do offer our most positive thoughts and our sincere prayers for Francina, who lost her mother this week and is caring for her father. Many of you probably have already read the email, but I did not want to close out the report without acknowledging her. She is a faithful and committed, dedicated part of our committee. So we certainly do want to kind of keep her in our thoughts and prayers. And that's the end of my report. We're just getting ready for this expo, and it's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much, Francis. And yes, please do keep Francina in your prayers. I think these last couple of weeks have been quite a challenge, not only for her, but for her family as well. So when you get an opportunity, don't hesitate to reach out to her, whether it's a text, call, email, or whatever the case may be. I'm sure she would be happy to receive it. All righty. And so we're going to move to Olga with data collection and analysis.
Good. I thought I had unmuted myself, but I hadn't. Thank you, Madam Chair. There is no report to present at this meeting. I know we've got our retreat coming up pretty soon, and everyone's sharing reports. So I look forward to sharing the report from the past year and prior. Obviously, this past year has been so challenging during our retreat. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Olga. Thank you for that.
Welcome, ma'am.
And we'll move to policy with Calvin.
Yes, good afternoon. Just a short update on the House Bill 1784 that we spoke about at our last meeting. That bill to establish a small business procurement enhancement program for the statewide with the 42% small business utilization goal. That is still in committee. So just wanted folks to know that we still have a ways to go to see that program enhanced statewide. But on the second point, I want to take the time now to thank the Minority Business Council and city staff for all the extensions of support and expressions to the Williams family. John Williams, who had been a Minority Business Council member, really appreciate all of your expressions to the family. So thank you, Madam Chair, for delivering the proclamation at his service. And I'm sure shortly the family will send out some more formal thanks, but I wanted personally to thank everyone for reaching out to me and reaching out to Carolyn and the family.
Thank you so much, Calvin, for your report. And I don't know what else to say about John, but we truly appreciate you, his impact on the NBC, his dedicated service, and we continue to pray for his entire family. So thank you so much for that. We're going to move to other business. Staff report, Rebecca.
Hi everybody. I was just thinking it's so nice to see your faces. We were chatting before we officially got started, but man, I miss meeting in person. I'm so ready to see you all in person. I don't have a formal report. As Olga said, we're working on numbers and those sorts of things, but I also wanted to let you guys in on a few other things that we are doing and with the great support from Patrick and Taylor and that leadership group and now Letitia, who I'm in line to meet and talk with. But we have so much support from the leadership standpoint that I think we're really closing some gaps. And one of the gaps that we've sort of, as we explore what barriers we've accidentally put in place that have created these disparities that we all knew existed, and the disparity study helped us, kind of locate those, is a lot of our processes and procedures. On the one hand, we don't want to write everything down because we want to be flexible in needs for the city when they need something from procurement. And sometimes we can put ourselves in a box by writing everything down and making a process for everything. In that, I think we've erred on the side of not documenting enough. And so I think we create a barrier when we're not transparent or consistent with our processes and our procedures. And so one of the things we've been working really hard on with the new system, and this just in general, are things like manuals and processes and procedures, and truly documenting those and documenting them in a way that not only leads to consistency, but is incredibly transparent and easy to read and not in the same lingo. And you can look it up and you can figure out how it works so that you can use it to your advantage. One of the things we know is that working with government is intimidating and not exactly streamlined and easy. And so if we can demystify the process for everyone and not just those who have a history of 40 years of working with the government entity, we're hoping to take down some of those barriers. So last week we released a multi-award contract manual. And briefly, a multi-award is when we do one solicitation and we say, gosh, we have a lot of work here, and we can share the wealth. We can award to more than one vendor. But it's not always clear how we're awarding work. So I may give an award to Kelvin, Sheila, Olga, and Clarence, right? And then my award numbers look beautiful. But then when I'm giving work, I just keep giving it to Kelvin because his name starts with A, or I know him, or he was on my interview panel, so I feel obligated, or whatever. And then Sheila and Olga and Clarence never get business because there's no consistent way to give that out. And so I don't think we were doing anything. I haven't seen any evidence that we were doing anything incorrectly or something like that on purpose, but not paying attention to the fact that maybe on these larger contracts, we put that out there and we said we have this award, but the expenditures never materialize for those vendors that are not chosen. So we created a manual, and honestly, Mr. Dehaney had written one when he was in Cincinnati that was beautiful. So we just tweaked his and passed that out to the city and said, hey, I'll I'll plagiarize all day long, but I give him credit for it. So that there's a clear path to how things are awarded, and our suppliers can know that, so that if they see something fishy going on and they have a question, they can express that. So that came out last week. We've got a revised procurement manual that is a little less procurement lingo and a little more how do you get started, how does this work, more of a reference manual. And I'm currently writing an RFP manual that is much more clear on how these very complex solicitations are done. But they also bring consistency of process and say, this is how we're going to do things, so that folks know what to expect and how to craft their pricing, their solicitation, and those sorts of things in a manner that allows them to truly compete and expand and grow from these contracts, because they understand what happens after. What are they expected to price in, right? Because sometimes we get folks in and we say, why do they never come back? Well, we didn't explain the intricacies, so they might have been low this time, but they may have gotten a great contract and not made any money because they didn't know what to expect after. So we're trying to demystify that process. So those are some of the things that we're working on in the background. I'm happy to share any of those with you. It's not the most exciting reading, but as they come out, we're happy to share those with you if you're interested. And we also are in the process of awarding a vendor to come in and map some of our daily processes, so that we can clarify and have consistency again in just the process of how things are awarded, timeframes to expect, those types of things. So thank you all for your support, and 100% we couldn't do it without great procurement staff, leadership support, but also Lavera, Nikita, and Keith they're an amazing group. You know that, I don't have to say it, but they've really supported this and proofread more things than they'd like to, and weighed in on things. So we're having a good time, but they're invaluable to this process. So thank you all.
This is Lavera. Rebecca, if I can add to that, thank you,
Sure.
first of all, for that. But if I could add, we also have the SWAM manual, which you want to elaborate on it?
No, I'll let you do it, because here's the thing. Yes, I could elaborate on it. I can't believe I forgot it, but that'll make it look like I'm the one doing the work on that one, and really that's Lavera.
Well, the SWAM manual it's a manual that has all of our ordinances. As you know, we've had several ordinances and resolutions passed this last year in June of 2020. So our SWAM manual has all of the ordinances in there and how they work, along with the forms that are needed for any of those ordinances when a solicitation goes out that one of those ordinances falls under. So we're happy to have that manual put together as well. And again, it contains every ordinance resolution that you all have been a part of course, through the disparity study, the recommendations that were there. Everything is listed there. So we're happy to get that out as well as part of the procurement manual. It'll be a supplement to the procurement manual. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so important. We thought it deserved a real explanation and a real demystification. And we are starting to train departments across the city as well, starting with some of those departments who have struggled more with process, or that showed a bigger disparity in the disparity study, to educate them on those ordinances, what they're for, what the intent is, and things that we may be inadvertently doing that limit competition and the availability to give a SWAM business a contract in those areas.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for sharing that information. Thank you, Lavera, and everyone else that was involved in the process. One of the things that I think it would allow, like you said, is transparency, right? Because some of the things that we have been hearing as we hold these workshops or expos and conferences, individuals are just not clear as to what the process is. And even though we do a workshop and we explain how to do business with the city, it is still that feeling as if, something is not being shared, right? And so I think that this will continue to help with the process of have the opportunity to do business with the city. So thank you so much for
and
that.
thanks for the support, the guidance, and the feedback from the MBC. We can't do this without you, and we don't always know. So it is from your conferences, your feedback, the things that you find out there, the communications that you guys give to us that are an integral part of deciding what to tackle and maybe where we are putting up barriers or scaring people off, because it's a large process, it's a complex process, and we forget that because we deal in it every day. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to move to the Minority Business Commission. Damon or Ed, do you all have anything to report there?
Quick little brief.
Nothing new on my end. Damon?
That was cool. Yeah, I'll make it fast. Just like you said with that though, I'm so glad to hear about the reports that we just got from Rebecca Key, because being in the community, I talk to so many different businesses and they ask those questions. So that's a great step. So congrats to you all you guys on that as well again. But as far as the Minority Business Commission report, they seem to have not met since January 7th. That meeting was just simply an introductory meeting to figure out what their agenda was going to be, what their focus was going to be. I will continue to be conversing with people on that committee and to the liaisons around it. And once I get more information, I will put that in the next report. But as of now, they have not met since January 7th.
Thank you so much, Damon. Go ahead, Ed.
I was going to say, Damon, why don't we get together and see what we can do as far as maybe getting up with some other people and move that along.
Yeah, no, let's definitely do that. I know it's I guess I can kind of share this. I've been reached out to about another commission trying to kind of monitor them. So yeah, I guess it's probably best to have a sit down and get feedback from everybody from the Minority Business Council as well about what you guys think should be coming out of this commission.
Thank you so much. We'll look forward to that updated report. Economic Development Report. Is Jeff on the line, Lavera? Someone from Economic Development?
I do not see anyone from Economic Development on the line.
Okay. We're going to move to Liaison Reports. Councilman Rouse?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Councilman.
Where, you know, it's always kind of weird when you sit and you hear everyone else say, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And it's like, when they just start a conversation. So now I'm on the other end, receiving end of that. So I'm just going to start my report. First of all, I'm really excited about the expo. I was able to talk to April Woodard again and get a tentative confirmation that she'll be able to host and moderate.
Yes.
I think there's a couple of things we just have to work through. One of the biggest things is her schedule, but she was more than happy to try to accommodate us. And so I'm really excited about that. The other thing is I'm excited about the Hive coming on, the Hive, which is in Town Center, getting that underway, getting that coming on board, and really excited about everything that has in store. And so I'm really excited about that. And then last but certainly not least, you know, and I know Francine Thompson, she does a lot with Kentsville Entrepreneur School. Just want to make sure that everyone understands and knows about the Summer Youth Employment Program that has been expanded this year, and the many opportunities there are for kids from the youth ages 16 to 21 to get summer employment throughout the city of Virginia Beach, which the city will help pay for. And so if you know of any youth that are out there that need summer employment, this is a great way for them to get involved and to make some extra income this summer. And I believe that is I believe that concludes my report. If I'm missing anything, or if you have any other questions about maybe our council retreat, we just had our council retreat earlier this past week. The council retreat, it went well, as far as well as it could go. But again, I think one of the things from there is an appetite to see more small business and minority participation throughout our city. And then we're also looking at ways that with this third round of COVID funding that President Biden has just signed, especially the large, I think, I may get this wrong, but I think it's billions of dollars for local government as well. We're going to be looking at ways to utilize that money to help small, women, minority, and disabled veteran businesses here in the city of Virginia Beach. Also within that COVID benefits, there's also a lot of money for restaurants in a separate entity. So there should be a large portion of funds coming along to help out small, women, and minority-owned businesses in that. And so just want to make sure you all know about that. So if there's any other thing we need to advocate for to make sure we need to get funding and there's properly funding from the city, let me know now so I can start getting council more informed on that from that standpoint. And I just want to revisit the summer youth employment. The deadline is the 16th, which is this weekend, and the info is posted on the BB web page. So and that concludes my report. Also, that concludes my report, but I just want to make sure I send my condolences out to all our members who lost someone. I know that can be extremely tough, but I just want to let you know from my family, my thoughts and prayers are with both of them, and we will be praying for them and wishing them well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman, for all you do. We truly appreciate you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the call, you have been an amazing liaison. So thank you so much for that. I do want to sort of piggyback off of the summer youth and employment. I think it's SYEP. I think that's the acronym for it. But I do want to share that I have had a couple of kids to go through it. It is absolutely a great experience. Some of the managers, mentors that the kids run into are truly outstanding. They are really focused on ensuring that the kids continue to succeed. Is there a graphic or something that we could possibly post on our social media since the deadline is quickly approaching, Councilman?
Yes, the SYEP, which is run through the Parks and Recreation, but they have their social media pages on Facebook and on Twitter, which they posted on there. So I can make sure I pull that information to you also, so we can post. I just see it as hugely beneficial for the youth throughout our city, as well as for those small businesses. This is a way to not only for them to provide employment for the youth in our city, but also a way to anchor those students here at Virginia Beach. So when they do get of age, 2021, they know how to start their business, and they don't have to run off to some other city. Some other city that is trying to attract them. They can say, "Hey, I used to work here as a teen, and this is why I want to start my business." So this is a great program, and hopefully that we can get a lot of kids to take advantage of.
Absolutely. And Councilman, one of the things that they do is they ask the kids on the application, what is their interest, right? Because they try to make sure that they partner the kids with someone in that industry as well, that they're able to learn and grow from.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. And then School Board, Dr. Lakeisha, are you on the line?
Hello, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. I just have a quick update. Thank you, Lavera, for forwarding an email to the Minority Business Council members. And as I shared with this group previously, our school division is conducting an equity assessment. And part of that equity assessment is that we're reaching out to various stakeholder groups. And we found that it's important that we meet with the Minority Business Council, or at least extend an invitation. And so Lavera was gracious enough to send me a few dates and times. And so we selected March 24th at 2 o'clock to invite Minority Business Council members to participate in a focus group with our evaluators on quality measures. So as we get closer to March 24th, I'll send you a set of questions that they will ask, as well as the Zoom link for your participation. And so we hope that you all can participate on that day. And again, thank you for your support. And that concludes my announcement.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lakeisha. We certainly appreciate you and all the work that you're doing. Let's see, I think we have a few things. I'd just like to remind members in regards to our upcoming retreat. Also fill out your volunteer forms. One of the things I also wanted to share is congratulations to Councilman Rouse. He is married now. Councilman, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Congratulations, and we certainly wish you many more years of marital bliss. And let's see, the other piece is there will not be an April meeting because the conference and expo will be held in April. All right, and I think that is it. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Go ahead, Councilman.
Before we go, I just want to thank all the women on this body who've come, the past, the present, and the future, for all of your commitment, your dedication, your leadership. Madam Chair, I think you've done an excellent job of leading this committee. I want to thank the women who've come before us. As well, I think, as you can see, everyone from Lavera to Rebecca, to our economic development and the rest of our council committee members on here, you women are the staple of what we are trying to accomplish. And I am so thankful and grateful to be a part of this committee. And I'm thankful for you all. I've learned a lot from many women who serve on here and serve throughout our staff in our city and throughout our community. And I just want to let you all know you will always have my support. And I thank you so much. And I will continuously look forward to learning from you all. And I just want to let you know how proud I am of not only your service, your commitment to our city, but just your ideas on what you bring to not just to the Minority Business Council, but to our society, to our economy, what we're trying to accomplish here. And I'm just so grateful for you all. So thank you. Celebrate this. It's not just a month. It's every day. You all should be celebrated.
Yes.
And I will always do my best to make sure not only we bring forth that equity that you all need as well, but be that voice to make sure you all can exceed and live up to your fullest potential and your dreams. So just thank you so much for what you all do.
Woo, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a married man
Councilman
talking.
Rouse for president. Woman vote for sure. And so we appreciate you, Councilman. Thank you so much for sharing that. It means a lot. And I think every woman on this call would agree to that. Thank you so much. You all have a great rest of your weekend, and we're adjourned.
Take care. This
Hi,
is
everyone.
Right.
Thank you, Ms.
Bye-bye.
Lavera.
Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you.
Peace.